So I don't know where I left off at, okay? But, you know, basically the collective, you're heading forward on your journey. You're not concerned about what you have left behind. There is someone that you did leave behind that feels like, they are the yin to your yang or vice versa. And this person is in your energy. This person is regretful, and having all of these, flashbacks to the past and wishing that they had a time machine, okay? However, you've already manifested your new timeline. You're already in it, okay? You are moving forward, okay, with this chariot energy. You have gone through, I feel like you and the person that you left behind, have gone through or are going through a death and rebirth, okay? I feel like this is also indicative of a Scorpio energy somewhere in the mix, okay? The card that I have yet to clarify is the Angel of Love, okay? But the Angel of Love, I did pull the Knight of Wands, okay? And so, like I said, so what I'm feeling is like this mix of energies of you being focused on your new reality, you know what I'm saying? And being, in the midst of this new community that you feel like supports this new, stronger version of who you are, and you feel like you can be, yourself. And so I feel like you are comfortable with moving forward, okay? Sitting tall on your chariot, you accept the death of the past and the rebirth of the new. And yet, I feel like this Knight of Wands energy is your energy as well as this other person who is clinging to your energy, okay? Because I feel that you collective are focused on your passions and, taking action to bring those things to life, okay? You're in manifestation mode. However, all of your manifestations and everything that you are doing is being governed over by the Angel of Love here. And so the Angel of Love is here. So you cannot ignore the fact that the Angel of Love is all about love, okay? There is someone who is watching you, okay? And it's like, this is someone who I feel like they didn't fully appreciate you. This is someone who took you for granted when you were in their presence. And so they probably thought that you would always be there, that you would never leave. And it's like they are watching you, okay? Whether it's on fake accounts, whether it's whatever it is, I do feel like it's via social media in some way, shape, or form. And it's like they're falling more in love with you now just by watching you blossom into who you are becoming, without them trying to hinder or block you or dim your light in any way, okay? And you are focused on moving to calmer waters and trying to manifest someone who will support you. And I feel like you are focused on someone who is going to support, your dreams and visions and be able to support you financially. I feel like in the past you have always, connected for love. And I feel like now you feel like the sensible thing to do would be to get someone who is going to support you in other ways. And so this is what you are focused on. On the bottom of the energy oracle, we do have the happy family, which is at the end of the day, your emotional fulfillment, you having total fulfillment in every aspect of your life, okay? Stability, financial stability, prosperity, success, and as well as emotional contentment and fulfillment, okay? New journey is your focus at the end of the day. Spirit, where do I close this off at? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get... this King of Wands on the bottom of the that person is still there in your energy, insisting upon, still clinging to the energy. So this is someone who does not want to give up because this person believes that, you belong to one another, okay? And this is probably why they thought that they were able to take you for granted, that they were able to put you on the back burner for what they were doing, whatever was happening. this person dropped the ball with you and you kept it moving, and they didn't expect that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out with a divine, one of the cards from my Divine Doors deck, just for some guidance. But again, at the end of the day, new journey is where you're headed on. It's like, and I feel like Spirit is telling you to remain focused on your new journey. And if this person wants to be a part of your life, I feel like they have to become this. Because you're like, you know what, this is all I can accept, because, with all the trouble and the trauma that you have the potential of causing in my life, I need to get paid. I need to have other forms of support other than, love and promises of love and, future faking and, promises. It's like the promises need to start being fulfilled, okay? And I feel like you feel like if I see you supporting me in other ways, because this man holding a coin is not just about money, but it is about, being supported in other forms, other than just promises. Because I feel like, the reason why promises keep coming up, because I feel like this person made a lot of promises in the past and they did not, they did not live up to it. Their words didn't match their actions. And so now they are in regret. And I feel like you felt like it was a lesson. I learned it, it was painful. I've gained a lot of strength from this. But, because I love myself, okay, which is why the angel of love is governing over, all of your endeavors that you're, whatever you're touching at this point, collective is going to turn to gold. And it's like, because that's what you're focused on. And so that's what you're focused on. You're focused on, building your own empire. And, but however, it is being governed over by the angel of love, which is your higher self saying, make the best decisions for you. Go, given everything that you have learned thus far. So it's like I feel like you are balanced. You're balanced in your logic and emotion. So you're not, making foolish decisions just strictly out of emotion. And I feel like you're making logical decisions, sometimes a head over heart decision, sometimes heart over head. I feel like you are wise enough to know when, these types of decisions are necessary and when to make which type of decision. So, at the end of the day, you're focused on moving to calmer waters, or you already have moved to calmer waters. We have the art of life. It says there is no sacred light. There is no sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. Be bold in your skin. Let your love dance in the sight. These cards are really tiny, so the words on it are really small. So, my blind ass couldn't see it. But this is what the door looks like, okay? I feel like the visuals are important because these doors are you entering into a new realm of experience, okay? So, again, the art of life. There's no sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. Be bold in your skin and let your love dance in sight. Okay, so what this is basically telling you is to live out loud, because this is why this person is so in love with you now, because I feel like when you released whatever, it felt like a level of bondage or restriction of some sort, and now you are blossoming into the fullness of who and what you actually are, just because this is, was your destiny. It has always been the plan that God has had for you, and now that they are no longer trying to contain your love and contain your light, they are falling even more in love with what they see you becoming, okay? I heard you are so beautiful. This is what they see as they are watching you from a distance peeking around the corner, okay? They want to make love to you. They want to touch you. They want to talk to you. They want to hear your voice. Someone says, unblock me. Someone says, speak to me. Someone has been contacting you on some fake account. I don't know how they think that's going to work, but they expect you to know that who they are, even though they're on a fake account. And you are blocking all of that out because you're not letting any toxicity in. And so this is where we stand. And I'm just going to leave it right there. Live out loud, Divine Collective. You got this. I'll see y'all in the next reading.